On the main street, Abby drove around the block once, looking for parking, and finally found a space in the half-empty lot behind the building. Resolutely, she marched up the stairs and entered through the back door. She stopped to ask directions at the main desk, where a cheerful woman directed her to a room at the front of the building that housed the local history collections. On the threshold, she stopped to take it in. It certainly didn't look too imposing. There were 2 oak tables with chairs in the center of the room, and the rest of the floor space and the perimeter were occupied by elderly oak bookshelves. A high counter ran along one side of the room, and behind that were more books locked away behind grills. A librarian seated at the desk looked up as Abby approached hesitantly. "Hi, can I help you find something?" The librarian looked to be about 10 years older than Abby and was wearing comfortable jeans and a sweater, not intimidating in the least. Abby summoned up a smile. "I hope so. You see, I was on a house tour yesterday, and I really fell in love with one of the places, and I wanted to know more about it." The librarian smiled her encouragement. "Yeah, isn't that a great tour? I've been through the houses any number of times. Which house were you interested in?" "The one near the school, the, flag house." "All right, let's see, where to start? Oh, I'm Jane Bennett. I'm the library archivist and unofficial town historian. How familiar are you with library research?" "Abby Kimball. I haven't done much since college, but I've used computers a lot." "That's a start. Are you interested in the architecture or the people?" "People, I guess. I was wondering who built it, who lived in it, that sort of thing." "So, part local history, part genealogy. Well, you've come to the right place." The librarian looked around her. There was nobody else in the room this weekday morning. "Why don't we sit down at the table? Get comfortable." "Great." Abby followed Jane to one of the rectangular oak tables, and they sat side by side. Abby dutifully pulled out a pad of paper and a pen. Jane stopped her immediately. "Whoops! First rule, no pens in here, only pencils. Basic rule for all archival collections." Abby flushed. "Oh, sorry, I didn't know." "That's okay, a lot of people don't. So, to get you started, I'll check my files to see what there is about the flag house. Since we know it's on the tour, somebody's bound to have done something on it. In the meantime, you know the address, so you can check the city directories over there. See when the family first appears there, and when they left. What else are you looking for?" Abby was nonplussed. "Well, I guess I want to know more about the people, how they made their money, why they bought that place, what they did with it. And I understand that they moved out pretty fast, which seems odd. What happened to the family after, that sort of thing." "At least you've got the owner's name for a start. You can follow him through the censuses." "You have them here?" "No, but they're on microfilm at the National Archives, which is only a few miles from here. And we have online access here at the library, or you can get a subscription and read them online at home. You can go either way, depending on what you're comfortable with. The online versions are easier to print out, if that matters to you, but the microfilms can be easier to work with, especially if you're hunting, want to know who the neighbors are. Your choice." "Ah." Abby was beginning to feel overwhelmed, and then disgusted with herself. What had she expected? That a nice librarian like Jane was just going to hand her the entire history of the Flagg family? So she was going to have to do some digging on her own. Fine, she had the time. "Well, since I'm here, let's start with what you have here, and then maybe I'll know what else to look for." "Great. Oh, and we do have microfilms of births and deaths in Waltham itself, and of local newspapers, which might tell you a bit more. Obituaries are great for information like you're looking for." Jane stood up. "City directories and local histories are on those shelves there. I'll go get the folders." She headed for the desk, then disappeared behind it. Several hours later, Abby's head reeled with new information. She felt like she had been in another world, another time. What Ned had told her, she had confirmed. William Flagg had bought a simple farmhouse and transformed it to a model of high Victorian opulence, sparing no expense. Plainly, he had wanted a showplace. He had made his money through some shrewd business dealings, having played an important role in the formation of a local